It's Wednesday and it's October, which is by far the best month for a lot of reasons, including harvest time. All right, so I don't even know what's in the box yet, but let's see, because here it is. All I can see is that there is kale beet on top. Do you know what kale beet is? No, you don't, because it's an old-fashioned term for Swiss chard. One leaf. There's more in here, don't worry. This is like regular kale. This is like collards, but it's got like ruffled edges, so it's kale. You didn't know that this was called kale beet, did you? Because it's like kale and a beet. It's amazing the things we learn. More. Don't lose it though. Don't lose it. Alright. Greens. See, this is why October is amazing, because the greens are back. And this lettuce is so pretty. See all the different kinds of green? I'm going to put it here so you can see it. I don't have any fruit this week because I didn't go volunteer and I didn't have a fruit share. So I don't have any apples, which is sad. I need to get apples. Okay. Oh, what's this? Herbs, parsley. That's not parsley, but this is parsley. So good, parsley. For your Seder on Passover, dip it in salty water to be reminded of the bitterness of captivity. All right, these are dandelion greens. So you can just cook these, you can eat them, you can make dandelion tea, I think. I don't want to make dandelion tea. I've never made it, but I've heard of it. So I'm just gonna eat these in salad, I think. Because they're kind of a little bit spicy. Who says dandelions are a weed? They're not. See, this is proof they're not a weed. They just spread very easily. Scallions. Yeah, see, remember the scallions? These are not leeks, because the ends you can tell. And then how they grow, they cut. You don't have to wash them. After you cut them, you can wash them first. More unspicy peppers, which are pretty but entirely useless. I wonder if these are spicy. I'm gonna guess and say no, but I wish they are. I'll try it and see. How could you tell if something was spicy from the outside? Can you tell? Swipe it off. Bite it. I mean, it's fresh, but there's no heat. But you can see right inside. See the little seeds? They're not spicy. Little pak choys. We'll learn someday the difference between bok choy and pak choy. For now, here's got 3 little baby ones. So much green stuff in October. My least favorite green thing, green peppers. Oh, some carrots. They're getting a little bit fatter towards the end of the season. Carrots. And is this ginger? Yes, this is not. It looks a little bit like the Jerusalem artichokes we had, was it last week or two weeks ago, I think. But this is actually just like fresh, young, delicious ginger. Smells really good. For your curry or whatever else you want to make. And a butternut squash. Yes. Winter squashes, fall squashes. So good to roast in the oven. You can make soup. Here's an onion. And another onion. And, ooh, golden beets. See, this beet is golden. Another one. And more ginger. Another golden beet. Not to be confused with these potatoes. You say potato, I say potato. And the last couple potatoes, another one of these unfortunately unspicy peppers, and 2 heads of garlic. Garlic. I don't like when we have to import our food from very far away, especially things that grow here. Why do the stores insist on selling garlic that is grown in China in those little sleeves? Kind of that mesh white sleeve, and it's $1 and you get all these heads of garlic from China. It's like, why? We can grow garlic right here. It tastes so much better. It hasn't traveled halfway around the world. Your produce should not travel halfway around the world unless absolutely necessary. Like if you love grapes and it's not grape season and they come from South America, at least they come on a boat. Not that they can't come on a boat from China, but still it's like, it's so far away. You can't grow them here, but you can grow garlic here. So let's grow our garlic here and get our local garlic. Okay, I think that's all we got here. No fruit this week. Let me tell you something about chard while we're here. And one more thing about chard. Chard is simply a beet, Betel vulgaris, of which the stalks and leaves have been developed instead of the root. I did not know that. It is also called the leaf beet, Swiss chard, why I do not know, it is not peculiar to Switzerland, and especially in England, the sea kale beet, as in SEA hyphen KLE space BEET, sea kale beet. A complete misnomer since it is related neither to sea kale nor to kale, a kind of cabbage. Oh, it's not related to kale at all. It's a beet. Some reference books report that the leaf beet was already being cultivated in prehistoric times, while the root or garden beet did not appear until the beginning of the Christian era. This would imply that the leafy chard was the original type. Skip 2 pages. From which root beets later developed, presumably as the result of cultivation, from a common ancestor. The ancient Romans seem to have had an intermediary form of which both root and leaves were eaten. I wish I could see this. However, Plautus spoke of both white beets and chard as entering into the same mixture, so there must have been at least 2 distinct varieties by the 2nd century BC, and the prize chard of Pompeii seems definitely to have been the leaf beet. The Greeks knew chard too, but failed to describe it for us. How do we know that they knew it if they did not describe it for us? Chard was being eaten in France, at least by the 15th century, for it is cited in Talleyrand's Le Vivandier, and France, that's my French is terrible, and France is still the country which probably eats it more regularly than any other. Okay, I won't disagree. The stalks are cooked either like asparagus or like celery, the leaves like spinach. Like celery? How do you cook celery? I don't like to cook. I mean, you can roast it inside. I guess I could cut it up and roast it inside a chicken, or you could put it in soup. I just cut it up and saute it with the leaves. Anyways. The French never serve stalks and leaves together. Oh my goodness. I've been doing it all wrong. And indeed, cultivate separate subvarieties of each. Have you got that, people? The French never cook the stalks and the leaves together. What do they do? Do they make 2 separate dishes at the same time? Or do they make them on different days? We will have to ask the French. For now, that is all we have from Waverly Root here today. Actually, I should show you just to finish up this lovely illustration. Chard engraving. It's an engraving of chard here, next to what looks like an engraving of kale or cabbage. But there's no color in this book, so you don't know what color the kale, the chard was. The leaf beet. Yes, leaf beets. Okay, everybody, that's it for this week. I hope you enjoyed what's in the box.